What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. New rugby news, new competition could be happening in the United States of America. The National Rugby Football League have announced that they have links to NFL, and they're set to launch in 2 years a type of competition which is going to be to the equivalent of what you would call in cricket the IPL. Now the IPL is like a tournament in India where you select 4 of the top players around the world and bring them into India and create an awesome tournament, one of the biggest cricketing provincial tournaments in the world, and is a massive hit. Now, American investors want to do the same for rugby, but this time they want to host it obviously in the States. They're willing to invest big money into this. There's talks of it being that with a £7 million salary cap, which would equal to that of the Premiership in England, with plans of an 8-team competition to be held during the NFL off-season between April and July. The proposed league has been linked to, as mentioned, the IPL. Now, we've often talked about what are they gonna do in the sport to create a big talked about league that would be like in a comparison to what we see in the IPL. How are we going to ignite fans? It could work, but it could also fail, because I'm big on bringing the sport into the States, because I believe there's a lot of money there where investors could invest in the support, like we're seeing with Silver Lake and the All Blacks, and the opportunities being circulated there. So good things can definitely happen if the right people are involved with the right mindset. You're going to have to get big names to draw to this competition. There's links of Siya Kolisi maybe, the guys wanting Maritoja, the Bowden Barrett, that's talking of being on the list, but again, I don't think they've been contacted as of yet, but those are the thoughts. And they're trying to say Hollywood type of rugby event to bring the big money into the sport, and by doing it in the United States of America. I think it could be a good thing. They say their goal is to put the best product on the pitch, which will need some of the best athletes, whether or not the names, like mentioned, will or will not accept a tournament like this, because obviously they currently have their own provincial leagues that they play for. I mean, July, June, April, we're seeing Super Rugby continue. So for the likes of Bowden Barrett, who plays for the Blues, Siya Kolisi, who plays for the Stormers, you've got big names in those leagues. Are they going to sacrifice Super Rugby and all that to go overseas? Then you look at Europe. You've got the Champions Cup, Pro 14, Premiership, Top 14, all those leagues going on. Are big names going to stop that in order to to go to this tournament? I can see it happening, but in order to formulate how to get it to go around, in order to adapt to all guys' current work schedules, is going to be tough. So I think a lot of logistics definitely has to come into play if they're wanting to make this a success. I like the idea. I think it's strong, but we see current rugby being played, and in order to work a way of maybe they can be excused for a couple of months, I don't think teams are going to agree to that, because if you look at big names in sport, Joe Marler, I mean the Harlequins, you've got Johnny Sexton, Leinster, you've got, like I said, Siya Kolisi, Stormers, Bowden Barrett, Blues, Scott Barrett with the Crusaders. All those names, those big teams will want, because they're stars of their own respected province. So why would they allow them to go out? So I think a lot of logistics has to be discussed in order to maybe make this happen. But I think it's a good idea, and definitely they're on the right track. 2 years time, maybe some players might think of retiring. Sam Whitelock, there's a lot of talk why he was made captain, but he could want to play his career further overseas. Maybe they'll target the veterans of the sport, the Marnonus, the Beast, etc., etc. Dan Carter. I mean, there's talk of him possibly going to the States. Now, bringing big names like that, hello, we've got a winning wicket. But is it what the big crowds in the USA are going to watch? Will they watch a long tournament, or should we rather keep to the odd game there? I think it could work. I think it's a good idea, but it's a big process and logistics that need to go around in order to make this a huge success, especially with the current schedules these guys have. It's already so much rugby that's being played. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. They say this won't be a dumping ground for international players. It will be more like IPL players, where you bring Ben Stokes or AB de Villiers as your sprinkling of stardust on top of largely domestic squads. So it could happen. It could be good. And I think it's definitely worth investing in. But I just want to know, and maybe you guys have an idea, how would they get these guys to play in between? There's already so much rugby in the year. There's talk of a Nations Cup coming up, Club Rugby World Cup. How are we going to do it? Is it going to be once every 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, every year? How are we going to do it? It's going to be interesting. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Curious to hear your thoughts on this league. That's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you real soon for another one. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.